Some of you guys may know that I do SMA, and there's something extremely valuable that one of my mentors has taught me, which I'd like to share with you today. His name is Charlie Morgan. I'll link his channel and one of the videos he has on the channel, which is from his agency course called Easy Grow. This video is called Trial by Fire Billionaire Mindset Training. This video I highly recommend even if you're not in the SMMA niche or any business space, as I truly believe you'll learn a lot from that video. Now, something I've experienced myself, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced, is making progress in something specific and breaking it all down. An example I can give you is, let's say you start self-improvement and you start going to the gym to try to lose some weight. And you start eating clean and you're going gym consistently, and then all of a sudden you break it all down and you start eating junk, skipping gym, and sooner or later you just land back to where you started. And I'm 100% sure something like this has happened to you, where you start self-improvement, it goes well, and suddenly your brain starts giving you negative thoughts, or even worse, you start to overpraise yourself and take a huge step back, and it's the worst feeling in the world. It's like building a Jenga tower, and every now and then you just knock it over before you can finish it. I'm pretty sure Hamza also has a video on this, where he says never compliment yourself by destroying your progress. For example, let's say you've made some good progress in the gym. Don't compliment yourself by eating a cheat meal, but instead compliment yourself by taking yourself shopping or buying that t-shirt you always wanted. So, how do you stop destroying your progress? Well, let me show you a diagram. I'll use a different example in a bit, but for now, I just want you guys to understand this diagram. So, you see the top with the peak. This is where you are doing good. This is the point where you'd say to yourself, oh, I've been doing good in the gym, so I'm going to have a cheat meal. And the bottom is where you start to feel like shit. This is where you realize you need to start grinding again, and you need to start eating clean and hitting the gym more, etc., etc. And the middle is obviously the average. Now, during my self-improvement and SMMA journey, I would always ask myself, how can I actually improve and make progress without continuously destroying my progress and having to start all over again? Or even, how can I speed up the process? Now, looking at the graph again, I would always think that I needed to raise the highest point of the graph, which is what most people try to do. The answer is actually to raise the floor and make it the current high. After I realized this, everything changed. Don't worry if that doesn't yet make sense, let me explain. Let's say the average is around $3,500 per month, and the peak I'm making is $9,000 per month from my SMMA. And this is the top of the graph. This is where I'm happy with where I'm at. And let's say when I'm making this money, I decide to treat myself and give myself a few thousand to go shopping. And sooner or later, I'm at the floor of the graph, which is $1,200 per month. This is where I start to panic and think to myself, I need to pick it up again and start to grind again. This is where I would not allow anything under that amount in my bank account, or my brain will go into panic mode. Like, this is my minimum standards. And this would just happen on a continuous repeat cycle. I'd make a good amount of money, I'd feel happy, treat myself, and then sooner or later I'm at my minimum standards, and then I'd grind again, get it back to 9,000, and it's just a cycle which would keep continuously happening. So how do you solve the problem? So what most people would think is, I'm just going to increase the $9,000, but what would end up happening here is, let's say I increase it to $12,000 per month. It would just the cycle would just continue happening, but instead would lead to a bigger drop, which is from 12,000, which is your new peak, all the way down to 1,200, which would lead to an even shittier feeling. So this graph that's on the screen right now is basically what we should be doing. We need to make a highest point our next lowest. So the way I start to feel at the bottom at $1,200 per month is how I should feel at $9,000 per month, and make the $9,000 per month my lowest feeling. So anything under $9,000 per month, I would start to feel like shit, and I would think that this is my new minimum standard. That is basically the answer to making exponential progress. You can literally use this for anything. You can use it for gym, dieting, money, sleep, health, literally anything you want. And an actionable step you can take is getting a piece of paper and pen, and drawing this graph out, and at the top labeling it. Let's say it's for sleep. Now at the top you would write the max amount of sleep you're getting, and at the bottom you'd write the least amount of sleep you're getting, and the middle is obviously the average. So how this would work is the top would be where you feel like you're getting enough sleep, and the bottom is where you think it's really shit. And I'll give you a good example. Sometimes when I'm staying up, I would look at the clock and I'd see that it's like 1 a.m. Now this is like my minimum. This is like, okay, I'm not getting past this. I'm actually have to go to sleep now. So I hope that kind of gives you a better understanding of how this works. So in a nutshell, you need to change your standard and become version 2.0 of yourself, which means your peak should now become your new standard. Thank you for watching. I really hope you got some value or learned something new in this video. And if you did or enjoyed, a like and a subscribe would always be appreciated. But other than that, I'm a normal 15-year-old kid on self-improvement, trying to make it. Join me on my journey if you wish. But that's pretty much all for today. Have a great rest of your day.